Hey everyone, welcome to today's exciting story, where we meet Doug, a superhero mixing skills and adversity. One day, Doug stumbled upon a dance troupe hiring and thought, why not give it a shot? She stepped in and was captivated by the performance. But the manager saw her and coldly said, we're looking for drag show performers, and you don't quite fit the bill. Doug quickly dug deep, saying she's read Shakespeare and can just give me a chance. Doug pleaded. The manager said, they come for fun, not to see a wheelchair performer. Doug hesitated slightly, but then she cheekily placed her legs down and stood up. Her determination moved everyone, and they united to persuade the manager to give her a chance, and a miracle unfolded on. Since she couldn't stand for long, Doug was super careful before her performance, hoping to wrap it up quickly, or she might end up looking like a broken vase on stage. With the host's enthusiastic introduction, Doug, adorned in all her vibrant and colorful attire, finally stepped onto the stage to commence her much-anticipated performance. Her voice, sounding like a melody from heaven, instantly touched the hearts of everyone present, delivering an unprecedented impact, as if in this very moment she had been reborn with a fresh lease on life. Amidst the roaring applause, others hurriedly wheeled her off stage. From then on, Doug had regular gigs to entertain everyone every week. Even though Doug's performance income barely supported her and her pups, the dogs decided to embark on a charitable mission. Going for reverse donations at the mansions of the rich. Led by Mickey, they began sneaking into wealthy folks' homes, looking for some donations. Though Doug knew it was illegal, she kept telling herself it was wealth redistribution. However, the lost items drew the insurance company's attention. Faced with the wealthy filing claims, the insurance company was in a pickle and ultimately sent a guy named Ackman to handle the situation. Once Ackman got the scoop, he started investigating. This guy was a clever fox, checking surveillance footage and piecing it all together. He actually found evidence of the pup's thievery, because let's face it, it's hard to pin it on the cuties with just one video. Following the leads, he even traced it back to Doug, shocked to find her performing at a dance hall, sometimes wearing those donated valuables. Armed with this lead, Ackman showed up at the troupe, pretending to be a fan of Doug's performance, hoping to befriend her, but Doug was skeptical. They had a pleasant chat, but Ackman followed Doug to an abandoned tomb. He didn't tell the police what he found. Ackman seemed to have a little plan of his own. He walked in and threatened Doug with a weapon to hand over all the donated valuables. Meeting Doug, he completely dropped the gentleman act and threatened her directly, pushing Doug to her limits. With no choice, Doug pointed him to the valuable items in a cabinet. Deep down, she knew Ackman wanted to keep those goodies for himself. Ackman discovered a box of valuables but seemed intent on pocketing them and tossing Doug to the lions afterward. Just when he was plotting, two Irish wolfhounds popped their heads out, and Ackman got shredded by the dog shredder. Hearing this, Erin suddenly realized Doug was narrating her criminal story, and although puzzled, she still said she would duly document it in her report. Soon, the report reached the police, and it seemed Doug couldn't escape now. Doug began to panic, realizing her actions would face legal consequences. Was this a battle of good and evil, or just a web of complex emotions? It was akin to Doug's inner turmoil, questioning whether she should confront the choices she had made. In fact, faced with these moral dilemmas, she was just an ordinary person chasing her dreams. But regardless, those who grasp kindness always encounter a fulfilling ending in the end. Doug is about to embark on a brand new chapter. Will she embrace life once again? Oh, dear viewers, want to know what happens next? Don't forget to like and subscribe. It seems life is always full of challenges. Just like the iron gate blocking the way, the gang members couldn't barge in directly and had to spread out looking for a way in. One gang member tried to squeeze through a doggy door, only to be greeted by a feisty wolfhound. Hearing the shrieks of his underlings, gang boss Doug ordered others to take the long way. Completely clueless, this offered the pups a perfect chance to hunt one by one. The big guy spotted a mini pup and was about to take care of it, when suddenly, the sound of loading bullets echoed. Doug, having abandoned his earlier strategy, seized the moment when the pups distracted their adversaries and decisively activated harvest mode. Some large dogs gathered to join the fight, and the man before them was so startled he staggered back, unsuspecting of what was to come. Amidst the continuous screaming, the gang boss finally realized he was in hot water, cursing his lack of manpower. After this thrilling showdown, he was the sole survivor left standing. Doug narrowly escaped his fate while on foot, but fortunately the brave pups came to tidy up the situation, ferociously tearing the pursuing gang members into shreds. After the battle, Doug planned to take her pups and leave this mess, but unexpectedly she was stopped by the police halfway. Police saw so many stray dogs and forcibly detained her. However, before heading to the station, Doug gave Clever Mickey a glance, and all the dogs scurried off. When Doug was taken to the station and met the female psychiatrist, Erin, the previous scene unfolded again. As Erin left the station, the pups waiting at the door suddenly gave a signal, and all the dogs rallied to storm the station again. The police were at a loss as the situation unfolded, pondering where all these quirky pups had come from today. But regardless of the circumstances, Doug was aware that she would eventually embrace her very own fresh new day. The police regrouped, while Doug removed her leg braces, donned an elegant suit, ready to face challenges. The officer on night shift suddenly saw a little puppy dart into the station. As he leaned in to check, a bulldog suddenly burst out and knocked him to the ground. Shortly after, an elegant Saoki walked in holding keys and dropped them right in front of Doug's cell. Once Doug was out, the pups had been waiting, and with their guidance, Doug quietly slipped out of the station. Yes, she ditched her wheelchair and boldly walked out, realizing that running away wasn't her final choice, but facing the moment head-on was. No matter how fate plays with her, she's ready to face new challenges, charging forward without hesitation.